Hey there Starseekers, Luke here, and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm bringing you another asset flip warning video, this time for a duo of games. The first being Titan Black Ops, published by Benjamin Kistler, a prolific asset flipper who is currently battling PixArt for the top spot on our asset flippers leaderboards, and the second being Metal Commando, published by Ultimate Games. Now these two titles have been brought to my attention by several people, including a guy called Caspian X2 who posted a thread over on Reddit about them a few days back, and there's actually more to this asset flip than meets the eye, but first let's take a look at the game itself. So Metal Commando is essentially a run and gun Metal Slug clone where you play as a guy called John Digger, and you basically blast your way through hordes of soldiers, tanks and aircraft as you attempt to take down an enemy army and end an ongoing war. Playing a demo version, I found that the game itself felt pretty polished, and there were a ton of different features which set it aside from your regular Metal Slug game, including weapon upgrades, various power-ups and a few different game modes to select from. Now the official version of Metal Commando was actually released in 2018 as a mobile app by developer NZT Studio, and being free to play, it included your usual assortment of in-app purchases which still remain in the demo files. Where things get interesting though is when you find out that the original mobile app was actually pulled from the App Store after NZT signed a publishing agreement with a company, and somewhere between then and now, another company called Fox Games uploaded Metal Commando as an asset on Codester for people to buy at a price of $149. Now according to the asset's description, Metal Shooter Slug is a complete project template, but as you can see from the comments, somebody has outed them stating that the original game was decompiled with the DevX Unity tool, and another person has requested that they send the full source code of the project and not the decompiled version. Now it appears that the assets are no longer available to buy, but it's clear that Fox Games haven't obtained these files legitimately, and so the two versions of the game on the Nintendo Switch have essentially been created using stolen assets. NZT Studios also confirmed this themselves in an email, where they stated that all of the clones are unauthorized, but they can't actually find a way to take them down. Now, knowing that Benjamin Kistler's version was most certainly an asset flip, and going by his track record probably didn't give a shit that it was stolen, I instead decided to email Ultimate Games, a publishing company whose games I've covered before, and who are not really known for publishing asset flips. Now I asked Ultimate Games if they were aware that Metal Commando was an asset flip and was likely created using stolen assets, and in the response they sent back, they stated that they've been aware of the fact that the assets were stolen since the game's release, and that this has been reported to Nintendo and they're currently in the process of taking the game off the store. According to them, they received publishing rights from a private person who claimed the game belonged to himself, and after discovering that they were in fact bought from Codester, they've taken appropriate steps, so hats off to Ultimate Games on how they've handled this one. So taking into account all these facts then, we can pretty much conclude that Nintendo are aware of the fact that asset flips are being published on the eShop, and that these particular game assets were obtained illegally. Going by what Ultimate Games have said, Metal Commando was reported to Nintendo around the 19th of August, but despite this, they're still happy to let Benjamin Kistler release the same game on the 26th of August, and this only goes to further highlight the company's complete lack of concern on the situation and the ever-growing issue of asset flips on the Switch eShop. So before I end this video, it's time for my usual call to action against asset flips. Now I'm going to be trying to step up my game with reporting these asset flips to you lot, but you can all really help me out with this one by just sharing these videos wherever you can and spreading the word on the situation. As always, there'll be those with the attitude of just don't buy them then, but this really doesn't solve anything. We still have an eShop full of shitty asset flips, and how can people be so blasé about the fact that there are so many legitimate indie game developers out there trying to get noticed, many of which can't even get the games published on the Switch, and yet we're happy to stand by and watch Nintendo let the eShop fill up with flip after flip. Anyway, that's all that I've got to say for today. No doubt I'll be back soon with another asset flip warning video, but until then I want to thank you all once again for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to keep up to date with my latest content. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.